Hello figure enthusiasts and welcome to Scaled Affairs, where I will take a closer look on scale figures, price figures and Nendoroids alike. Today's figure is ARTFX J's Bakugou Katsuki, released by Kotos and Takara Tomys. Over the last 2 years we have been flooded with figure releases from the super popular shōnen series Boku no Hero Academia, and this 1:8 scale figure of Bakugou is one of them. He was released in August of 2019 and with a sticker price of 9,200 yen without taxes, you will get a lot of figure for a reasonable amount of money. Even here in my region, I've paid far less than 100 euros for this figure. Bakugou will come to you in a colorful window box that does resemble the overall comic theme of the series. On the back side of the box you will find a little note in Japanese or English praising Kotos ARTFX line. You can clearly see that those releases are targeted towards an international market. When you take Bakugou out of his blister, you will be greeted with several loose parts that needs to be attached before you can display UA's hot-headed student on your showcase. But be warned, mounting these pointy headpieces on his spiky hairs is not a pleasant feeling for your fingers. The figure was sculpted by Salei Kato and Tatsuya Hattori as stated on the box and has a total height of 21.5 cm, including his base and the spiky parts of his costume. On the right side I summarized some of the figure's key details. The reason I like this figure from the get-go is the fact that Kotos decided to give him negative pegs instead of positive ones, meaning where most figures have a peg coming out of their foot sole, this one has holes in it and the pegs are on his base plate. Since Bakugou knows how important a solid stand is when getting ready for combat, this figure can easily be displayed without any base. This is a great thing for figure photographers like me, but also I have to admit that the base isn't particularly well crafted. When compared to the base of my Rory Mercury from the same company, where they also used rocks as a base design, this one looks more like Play-Doh than actual stone. Furthermore, you can also detach Bakugou's giant grenades from his arms and display him without them. Granted, when doing this you will see a narrow gap on his right arm, but if you choose the right angle when doing figure photos, you won't notice it. You might as well detach his spikes, but then of course you will clearly see the mounting gaps in his hair. I found it somewhat remarkable that they went the extra mile in giving us those options. Apparently there is also an alternative faceplate when you ordered him directly from Kotos, but since I didn't, I have to live with his standard masked grin. Speaking of grin, his facial expression is spot on and the whole head and all the exposed skin areas are undoubtedly the highlight of this figure. Also very detailed are his gloves and those armor parts with a semi-gloss silver finish, as well as the big green grenades. Unfortunately, the level of detail is fading the further down you go. The utility belt isn't that ornate and his pants with all those folds look a bit like he's wearing one of these big black trash bags. But then on the other hand, the original design of the battle outfit for our main boys in Boku no Hero Academia doesn't give a sculptor much to work with. His shoes and the base on the other hand could have been much more detailed given the size of those elements. Overall, I think this is a great figure for taking pictures of it, and since there are not too much fragile details, he might also be suitable for outdoor shootings as well. Like I said in the beginning, many manufacturers released a lot of similar looking figures from the main heroes of this series, especially Bakugou, Deku and Todoroki, but if you want a solid looking figure for a great price, I can recommend Kotos ARTFX J line. But brace yourself, if Kotos is releasing all the extended main characters like they did with Pokemon, and if every one of those characters will have a shiny or limited color version, you still will need a lot of money and maybe 1 or 2 new showcases as well. Next time I will take a closer look on Taito's second season spring version of Hatsune Miku. Until then, take care and keep collecting those gorgeous figures.